Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers' best bet or daily package for only $2.
Welcome back here, guys, to WagerTalk TV. And like Minty just said, it is $2 Tuesday at both SportsMemo.com and WagerTalk.com. We have JM Sports and we have Teddy Covers. $2 Tuesdays. You get their hottest play of the day for just $2. It is Tuesday, and Tuesday means Buster Sports joins us. We'll go to him in a second. But my co-host, my man, my good friend, Carmine Bianco, hit his 5% play yesterday on Vegas in regulation. And Carm, it wasn't an easy one, man. But you got it done. Also, guys, don't forget to check out Carm's Soccer Show, Stoppage Time. Great group of guys, great information, and great way to start the day off. So, Carm, how's it going, man? I'm sure you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, probably lost a year off my life on that game yesterday. I had Vegas in regulation time. They went down 2-0 in that game, and I was pretty. It was a bummer. But Lehner played great for Vegas. Kept them in the game until they got a goal, and once they got a goal, Vegas got rolling, and really put that game away. So I kind of wish I had taken the regular. I wish I had taken additional money on Vegas when they were down 2-0, or 2-0. But I'm happy they won. So let's go on to the next one.
Yeah, I think that Prez and I have something to do with that, Carm, with the support we were giving you. We didn't doubt it for 1 second. We knew you had that win in the bag, but I'm happy you got it, man. And congratulations. Buster, always good to see you, buddy. How are things?
Things are very good, Andrew. Good to see you guys. Always enjoy Tuesdays. Thing about the Tuesday, it's funny because when you only come on once a week, I tell you, the week goes by fast. Next thing you know, bang, it's Tuesday again. Didn't I just do that show like a couple days ago? So time flies here in Mexico. But I've been really hot lately. Had a great Masters tournament. Very happy with our results. Had that Will Zalatoris at 75-1. Would have been nice if he could have come through. But you know what? It was a great tournament, and our clients are all happy too. So looking forward today with you guys like always.
Well, you know what? The fact that you even had him, it shows a lot, Buster. I mean, he competed the whole way through. A great Masters tournament. We'll get into today's games, guys. Today we are discussing the Panthers and the Stars in our opening face-off game. We also have Tampa Bay Lightning and Nashville Predators, Rangers, Devils, Flames, Leafs, and the Philadelphia Flyers taking on the Washington Capitals. And the Capitals, I'm interested to get into some of their trade talks, guys. Maybe we won't touch on it today. We'll touch on it a little bit. But, they gave up quite a few draft pieces for one player. We'll see how that works out for them. But our first game of the day is Florida and Dallas. And I'll start with you, Buster. What are your thoughts here? Panthers minus 115.
We lost Buster.
We lost Buster. It's all good. We'll switch over to Carmine. But Carm, the Florida Panthers, to me, they're in the craziest division. I think that we've said the West Division we've seen some upsets. We've seen some playoff implications, some playoff battles. But what do you think about the Panthers heading into this matchup? Because if I'm the Panthers, they've played strong hockey throughout the season, but you want to play consistent down the stretch.
Yeah, and they seem to hit a bit of a rough patch right now, as far as losing 3 straight, and it's not where you want to be right now. I think. Sorry, I'm hearing a bit of an echo. Sorry, guys. Just to let you know, I'm hearing an echo in my ears, so I'm going to take this out and talk about the game, so I don't actually hear the echo. But yeah, they've hit a bit of a rough patch, losing 3 straight, and this is a Stars team. Now it's one of those games where the Stars aren't going to make it easy on them tonight, because the Stars are in their own little battle chasing this Nashville team. They're 3 games in hand on Nashville, 6 points back. These are the games they have to win, and we're seeing the Stars play a lot of tight defensive games. You look at it, and this is one of the reasons why I'm leaning to the under in this game. You're seeing 3-2 score lines, 4-1, 4-2, 1-0, 3-2, 4-1. there's a lot of low-scoring games. And guys, just keep an eye. I know we love betting totals. We love betting overs. There's a lot of unders. Even the games yesterday that pushed on the sixes, the Winnipeg game, the Toronto game that landed on the six. They either got some goals early and were unlucky late, or you needed goals late. The unders are trending. Sometimes they say the trend is your friend. I'm going to keep this simple. While I think the Panthers need to get back in the winning column here, Dallas is going to make it tough on them tonight. I'm going to lean on the under here as my play, Andrew.
Carm going with the under in this game. Yeah, Panthers, Dallas, I think it's just so interesting, Buster, because like I said to Carm with my opening was that they have to stay consistent. Right now we're in that playoff, and this team has obviously solidified their playoff spot, no doubt about it, but you want to play good hockey moving towards the playoffs. And I feel like Dallas has no issue playing spoilers. So getting back to good hockey, I can't disagree with Carm's under in this game. I think Florida will want to play a good, secure, safe style of hockey, and Dallas will have no problem with that.
Yeah, well, you know what, Andrew? Last week we all agreed on a game, and it actually won. But a lot of times when we all agree on a game, it doesn't usually work out all that well. But I'm also with you guys here on the under. Although it won't make my card, but they have gone under 5 out of the 6 games that they've played. So and tonight you've got Dredger in net for Florida. He's like 2-1 against Dallas with a 1.34 goals against average. Kudobin's in net. He's played really well against Florida. He's 2-1-1 with a 1.73 goals against average. So these guys have played really well. This is Florida's 4th road game. That game, and I've been talking about this all year. Right now, they're hitting 60% as far as the home teams winning those 4th road games. Although it was around 68%. Now what ends up happening? It's gone about 8-2 for the road teams of late. So it's just a trend. It's just something out there to think about. As far as Florida, I actually like them here for the first period at least, because we're playing that 4th road game. That 3rd period might be a little rough, but the first period, last game, Dallas came out, boom, first 2 minutes, you're up 2-0. Joel Quenneville was losing his mind after the game talking about this. Now, Dallas has had to go and play another game, go to Nashville to play. Florida's been sitting around stewing about the game. Quenneville called it a garbage game by his club. And I'm telling you right now, for me, I'm going to take Florida first period at a pick to come out here and take it to Dallas right off the bat. And I think Dallas settles in, and it could be like a 3-2, 2-1 game.
3-2, 2-1 game. Well, that works out for us with our under, so I'll happily take that and grab the under. All 3 of us consensus play. And Buster, like you said, it's worked out well sometimes on this show, and sometimes it goes the other way, but hopefully that consensus is a good thing today on this show. Tampa Bay Lightning take on the Nashville Predators. And, guys, as much as we've seen this Lightning team have some trouble with the bottom feeders, I guess I'll say. This Predators team's been hot. They have actually played very, very well as of late. It just might be a little bit too late in their season for them to have finally gotten their act together. Let's be honest here. But Tampa Bay, 7-1 their last 8 against the Nashville Predators. But Nashville, 10-2 straight up their last 12 games. We have to ask ourselves, which game or which team does this game mean more to? And I think the answer is most certainly the Nashville Predators, but the Lightning have to string some consistency together. The term consistency is going to be my favorite word in the next 3 weeks in the NHL, because you do not want to see one team that's already in a playoff spot drop a game by 4 goals, win their next game by 2 goals. It's not going to impress their coaches. It won't give them a good vibe going into the playoffs. And I don't think it's good for their team morale. So when you look at this line here, minus 170, guys, although the Tampa Bay Lightning have had success against Nashville, if you look at a 12, 13, 14 game scale, Nashville has played spoiler a good amount of time. If you bet Tampa Bay against Nashville last 15 meetings, you're down some good money. Because of this price, you have to constantly lay with the Tampa Bay Lightning. When you look at this game right now, you see a 5.5 total. I'm going over the total of 5.5. Last meeting was 3-0 just a couple days ago. But if I look at what Nashville has done and the goals they've been able to put up, they've been playing good defensive hockey, but I don't think they can do that against Tampa Bay. If they're successful in this game, it's going to be by putting up at least 3 or 4 goals. I'm on the over 5.5 in this game here. And actually a slight lean to the dog in the first period. I think Predators will come out hungry to start this game off, Carm.
Oh, young Jedi, I've got to disagree with you on this one. I talked about the Preds, the last little while, how they're playing. 12-3 record their last 15 games. It's a commitment to defense. They're playing well. They're getting good goaltending. 12-3 are the unders in those 15 games. Saros, if he starts tonight, he's 11-2 his last 13 starts, and his splits for these goalies are great. I'm going to take out this earpiece again. 14-7, 2.17 goals against average, .929 save percentage. And then you look at the 2 games that he lost. He allowed 3 goals and 1 goal in a 2-0 loss to the Panthers. They're playing well defensively. He's playing well in net. If they get the Lightning to play the Pred style of game, which they did in that 3-0 loss, the last goal I think was an empty netter, but they played a tight game against the Lightning team. If they can replicate that game, this stays under the total. So I'm going to lean. I'm going to keep it quick with those stats. I'm going to lean to the under in this game.
Buster, where are you in this game, side or total?
Well, guys, I'm not going to break the tie on that total. You guys can have fun with that. The teams are 4-3 to the over this year. So, I want no part of this total. What I will be playing here is Tampa Bay in regulation. They've beat them 6 out of the 7 times. They are also in that 4th road game spot, which I really always told myself I don't. And I told my All Access clients I don't like playing that team on that 4th road. But I think Tampa Bay. What happened last game? You see it. They still won, but that first period, Nashville came outshot them 18-5. And again, like Quenneville was with Florida, Cooper with Tampa Bay was really pissed about the performance. They win the game, but they weren't too happy. But he wasn't too happy about that. So for me, of course, I'm never going to lay 180. I think Tampa, like I say, they beat them 6 out of 7 times. They kind of just have the number. Vasilevsky's looked great in net. I'm going with Tampa here in regulation.
Tampa in regulation, and you're getting that price down a little bit. Buster, can't blame you for that. But the success that they've had recently against the Nashville team, sometimes you can't really argue it. And you want to ride that hot team, the team playing well against them in particular. And just a quick little rebuttal. I can't argue what Carmine is saying, the fact that Nashville's been successful because of their defense. I'm just curious if they can have that success against a Lightning team that can score some goals when they get going and they get confident. Our next game here, guys, is our line change game with the New York Rangers and the New Jersey Devils. And I know, guys, this is our line change game. We usually talk about the money line move. So it opened up at -180. It's -185 now, a 5-cent move. But I had an interesting stat here, guys. Thought might be kind of cool to pop up. I know I'm not always a stats guy, but length of road trip. It's a 3-game homestand against a 3-game road trip. And length of road, I tweeted this out yesterday. You guys might find this kind of interesting. On the 3rd game of your road trip, not the 4th, not the 2nd, not the 1st, 3rd game of a road trip, since March 28th, we have seen 14 unders, we have seen just 2 overs, and we've seen 1 push. That's 14 unders, and I mean, it's just unbelievable. I'm not really sure why in particular that's happening. We're always trying to look at these patterns, and usually it was at the start of a road trip, you'd see an under. At the end, you'd see the over because of that fatigue factor. But, Buster, we talk about that 3 and 4 nights, and we've talked about these strategies. And right now, it's been working. That worked yesterday as far as – well, it got a push yesterday with Ottawa and Winnipeg. that situation. But with these two teams, I think it applies a lot more because let's be honest, the Devils are an under team, and the Rangers, well, when they're playing well, they go under as well. So I like that. I like that lean towards the under with what the stats have given me, and I'm looking at the Rangers in regulation here. I don't trust the Devils down the stretch. Carm?
Oh, sorry. I thought you said you're coming to me.
Sorry.
Are you coming to me, Andrew?
Buster? Okay. Go ahead, Buster. Yeah, go ahead.
No worries. Well, actually, you shouldn't worry, Andrew, because I'm going to go against you on that total right away. So, but I do agree with you. I really do like. I actually like this is one of my favorite games of the night. I like the Rangers in regulation, like yourself. You lay in a pick 110 or something with that. These two teams have played 4 games, 2-2 this year. All 4 games have gone over. Now, New Jersey has a little fire sale. The Rangers have been playing really well. The thing is for New Jersey, too, no matter who's on the ice, their special teams are terrible. You know, and so I really think that's going to help the Rangers get the win tonight. But I know you said New Jersey, you know, with the unders and that stat is very good. I never saw that stat before. But let's hope that stat goes. You said it was 3-14-1. Let's hope it goes 4-14-1 tonight, because if you look, New Jersey has gone 7 of their last 8 over the total. They seem to be just playing a full all-out pond hockey game here. And for me, with the teams playing, like I say, 4 overs already this year, the way it's all set up, the Rangers seem to be flying. I see the Rangers win this about 5-3, 6-3. So I'm taking the Rangers over 6 and the Rangers in regulation.
Buster, you're taking those stats and just throwing them right out the window for tonight's game. Right after I'd researched hard and tried to find those numbers, throwing those out the window at me, taking the Rangers and Reg and the over. Carm, I apologize for the mix-up there at the start. What are your thoughts on this game?
It's all good. Listen, I got voices in my head. I'm looking at Buster's backdrop there. It's just like I'm on some weird acid trip this morning.
Exactly.
But with that said, listen, Andrew, I hate to. You're going to stop taking my calls if I disagree with you all the time. But I agree with Buster on this one. You know, the road teams won all 4 games in this series so far. All of the games have gone over the total. The Devils just look like a dumpster fire to me. They're going to be competing with the Sabres at this point for bottom spot in this division if they keep up what they're doing right now. I'm actually looking at a couple different angles here, and one is going to be my show best bet. But I think the Rangers get it done here. If you don't want to lay the 175 or 180 on this team, you can take them in regulation time and lay probably about 110 on them. I'm going to look at the Rangers team total and over 3.5 goals, which is about minus 110. The Devils have allowed 4 or more goals in 7 of their last 10 games, including 4 straight games at home where they have allowed 4 or more goals. I see goals in this game. I see most of them coming from this Rangers team. So I'm going to take the Rangers team total over 3.5 minus 110.
Rangers team total. Good price on that as well. On some of these team totals, we haven't really been getting the best price on, but especially when you see a 5.5, easier to get that good price with a 3.5 on the team total. Let's enter our dump or chase segment here, guys. And we have this Maple Leafs team coming off a loss last night. I don't know who it was to, but coming off a little bit of a loss. We'll go to Buster to get his quick thoughts on that. But the Maple Leafs minus 180, Flames here plus 150. Let's be honest here, Buster. This Leafs team has looked good. They made some great pickups at the trade deadline, and off the loss, they've been a great team on the season. Feels to me like as much as we don't love to lay big prices, I'd actually be comfortable putting down my money, betting 180 to win 100, because I feel that confident the Leafs can bounce back. And the Flames, they're in sell mode. Sometimes you can see an angle when a team does make a trade. They just traded Sam Bennett, and they've kind of just made it clear at this point they have no chance to make the playoffs. They have no chance to, have that great of a season, obviously. Sometimes after the trade deadline, teams will rally together. And that's the only angle I really worry about when it comes down to it. This Leafs team off a loss, a couple of those giveaways they made, I feel like they will right their wrongs. And the Leafs have kind of just had Calgary's number. What are your thoughts on this game?
Well, Andrew, I'm not, as I've told you many, many times, I've told everyone, please do not lay these 180s, 210s. Now, even this year, look at Carolina yesterday. What was it, 380?
Yeah.
You don't lay this stuff. Why? There's tons of games. There's other games to bet. Andrew, please, even if Toronto wins this game 10-0, save your money on the 180. Do not lay 180 because in the long run, that's not going to be good for your bankroll. So I'll just leave it at that. For me in this game, it's going to be pretty interesting because now it looks like Rittich is going to get the start against his old teammates. They were just having breakfast like 48 hours, 72 hours ago. So I guess you ask yourself, what will Rittich be able to do against his old teammates, or will his old teammates be able to, know him well and be able to pick some corners or know his weaknesses? So that's something that you might want to look into or think about as your handicap, I should say. So right now we've got, please do not bet Toronto minus 180, even if they win tonight. Do not bet Calgary. The play here for me is going to be the under 6. And the reason is because I really think because of the whole Rittich situation is that Toronto will, and I hate to say this, but Toronto has played some not bad defense this year, considering, right? And their goaltending has been not bad either, right? So I think they're going to try to help him out tonight, right? Because they don't want to make him look bad against his old team. So I think they'll play a more defensive play. Normally, I'd be always a team on a back-to-back. They play a little less defense, so I'd be going that way. But tonight, these teams have played a lot of unders. And in fact, 7 of the last 8 times in Toronto, it's gone under. So the total 6, you got to get 7 to get there. I think Toronto plays a little tough. I don't know which side's going to win because, as you said, Andrew, with Calgary, there's 15 games left. Are they going to pack it in? And also you have to remember, Calgary has only played 1 game in a week. So they're going to have some fresh legs. I would, if somebody says that they want to bet Calgary first period, I wouldn't go against that either because it's a big money for Calgary first period, just a money line, right? Like, so if you push, but you might get a 1-0 lead after the end of 1. But for me here, Andrew, please do not bet Toronto. Calgary, Toronto, under 6.
Buster stays off the side, gives me a little bit of a lecture on the money line price, and gives us the under here. And Carm, notice how we can't say the Leafs are playing good defensively. They're playing not bad, according to Buster, just not bad. That's the credit he'll give them as far as the Leafs go. But there's a 3 straight against the Flames, and interesting enough too, Carm, 0 power play goals last 3 games for the Flames against this Leafs team. And big save, Dave. You mentioned that they know his weaknesses, Buster, but I feel like he also will know some of their strengths. So it's definitely kind of a scouting report type game here, Carm.
Yeah, listen, I got to take this thing out. You guys must love doing this Tuesday show as Montreal fans because every time we do the show, the Habs are coming off a big win on Monday. Last Monday, they beat the Oilers in overtime. Yesterday, they beat Toronto 4-2. Next Monday, they play Edmonton. So you guys might want to out there, you guys might want to take Montreal over Edmonton because we'll be doing the show talking about how it's 3 in a row with you two guys. I'm going to come back with the Leafs here. That wasn't the greatest game for them last night. I don't think they played a very good game. I'm not worried about the whole back-to-back thing. They've played 5. This is their 6th time this season on back-to-backs, and they're 4-1 in their previous 5 situations, the second game of a back-to-back. I'm going to look at the Leafs in regulation time here. I don't want to lay that big price on the Leafs. It's only minus 105 for that. I get it that Rittich is supposed to start. I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. We'll have to see. The last few games for the Leafs, the expected starter that they listed wasn't the actual guy that went. Yesterday it was Hutchinson as the expected, and it was Campbell that was in net. So We'll see which way they go on this. I think it's a big pickup for the Leafs because I think there is actually something wrong with Freddie Anderson. We're not hearing about it. I don't think he's a part of that team's future moving forward. So I think it's a Campbell-Rittich duel that we're going to see the rest of the way for this Leafs team. I have to think that they're going to bounce back off that performance. They're having a great season. As far as their defense goes, Buster does make some good points. We'll see how the Leafs defense does against good quality teams, because this North is lacking some of them. If they progress in the playoffs and they have to face a team like Vegas, Colorado, Boston, Washington, the Islanders, we'll see how they do. Tampa, Carolina. With that said, Leafs in regulation, -105 is my play here.
Yeah, Carmine, I've actually said to everybody, there's no such thing as an asterisk. I'm not going to put that on his NBA title. LeBron James said it was tougher to win the title in the NBA bubble, actually, without fans, with a neutral court. In the NHL last year, they said people will never understand what it was like to play. But this year, I won't give an asterisk to anybody but the Maple Leafs, just because I'm just a huge fan of them. Like all my followers always let me know, I'm just a huge believer in them and what they've done in the playoffs the last couple of years. But, I think it was a huge, huge pickup, like you said, getting Riddick. And they needed it. Campbell got his first loss this season yesterday, guys. But how many games was this guy going to play in a row? How many games were they going to throw him out there? A goalie's only going to be as good as he's feeling, as good of shape he's in, rest he's in. And you talk about that expression, load management. Well, Jack Campbell was out there every single day. So that's not really something that's going to help your team moving forward if you have the same guy consistently in there for you guys throughout the entirety. Let's get into our barn burner segment here, guys. The Flyers and the Capitals. Total sits at 6 here. Capitals pretty much traded away a draft pick after draft pick and picked up Anthony Mantha. And I'm not sure the status or when we'll see him, guys, but I figured we'd touch on this real quick just for a minute. I want to get you guys' thoughts. Mantha, to me, it's the kind of player, I think he's an unbelievable goal scorer. He has a lot of talent. He's young. I actually had the chance to interview him several years ago when I was covering junior hockey, and he has lots of upside. But when you get drafted to the Detroit Red Wings, you think to yourself, how great can I be playing? And you have to think to yourselves, and I don't know about you guys, but this is how I think. If somebody is playing even decent, having a decent season, and you play on the Buffalo Sabres, I'm sorry, Carm, but if you play on the Detroit Red Wings, you have to think to yourself, it's a little more impressive. Now he's going from the Red Wings to the Washington Capitals. It's a little more impressive, right? Would you guys agree with that? I mean, Carm, what do you think here? I mean, people say that he hasn't been outstanding, but he has been good, just not outstanding because he's playing on the Red Wings. But I feel like he'll be a big pickup for the Capitals.
Yeah, no, I think so too. Listen, when you talk about Detroit, I know a lot of people like to poke fun at this team. Unlike the Sabres, Detroit has a plan, and Yzerman is going to rebuild that team. This isn't a short-term thing. He's looking at rebuilding this team 3 years, 4 years, 5 years from now. He is stockpiling draft picks. And as far as that trade goes, yeah, when you're playing in a situation like in Detroit where you're losing a lot of games, you're not being utilized the way you can. You get into a different dressing room that has a winning attitude. It's completely different. I think it's a good pickup for the Caps. Now, as far as this game goes, I'm going to look at the over here in this game. All 4 games have been won by the away team so far, similar to that Rangers-Devils one. 3 of the 4 games have gone over the total. The Flyers were looking good, as if they'd put their defense back together again and playing some good games. But I watched that game against the Sabres. They completely fell apart. They paid for it late in the game, but they were making those same errors earlier in the game, and the Sabres just couldn't take advantage of it, but eventually did. While they have gone under the total their last 3 games on the road, prior to that, 9 straight overs for the Flyers team on the road. I'm taking the over here. That's my play.
Carmine likes the under, and Buster, we'll get your thoughts real quick on that trade. But you always talk about these big prices. Sorry. The over. You've just been betting the under on every single game, Carm. So I heard you saying the under just in this earpiece. But minus 220 was the price for Philadelphia against the Buffalo Sabres, Buster. You always say don't lay those prices. I can't trust this Philadelphia team on a side, but what we can trust this Capitals and Flyers team to do is go over the total.
Well, I'll just touch briefly on the trade. Obviously, what you were saying, Andrew, you're in Detroit, you're their best player. Now you go, arguably best player, I guess. Then now you go to a team like Washington. You have some veterans, Ovechkin, and you have Chara. I firmly believe the reason why, and I've said this on the show numerous times, I firmly believe why Boston isn't as good as they were last year, and why Washington, for a team that I thought actually might drop off a bit, is better than they were last year to me, is because of Chara, because of in that dressing room, because of that leadership. And they're going to help this kid, and he's going to be a big benefit, and it'll probably help Washington maybe go a little bit longer than most people think. To this game, hate to do it, but I'm with you two guys on the over. It's another game that I really like over. I'm surprised. Me and Carmine are always butting heads every Tuesday on games. This is the first week that we agree, so I'm not sure if that's going to be good or bad, but I'm with you on the over here, guys, for sure. 3 out of 4 games have gone over. And Carmen made a good point. Even though Washington, they don't really look the best. They give up a lot of chances. But I tell you, they've got a great power play, and Philly has a terrible penalty kill. Now, I know you can go into stats. Like, we're already into only 15 games left, so 3/4 of the season. Talking penalty kills and power plays, they're usually there. Yes, you can look back and go, okay, well, I just want to go back for the last 4 games, last 5 games. But usually the history will come and repeat itself. So what the teams are now, they're more likely going to look that way at the end of the year. Now, that all changes in the playoffs once teams get to play each other. And that's why you see a lot of times with these power plays going, a great power play go 0-20 in the playoffs because guys have the chance to coach. But anyways, just talking about that right now, Washington 4th power play. They'll score 2 goals on the power play tonight. So we're almost there. Just need another 4 or 5 goals somewhere else. One thing I want to say to just warn people about the side real quick here. I know we're running a little bit late. Washington has been on the road a lot. They came back home for a quick game, and then they went back out on the road, right? So they've been away a lot. And sometimes after a game like they just had, when they just crushed a team, you sometimes let up a bit. And Philly's desperate. Philly's either, I think they're done. I thought they were done right from the beginning. Me and Carmine had these talks before. But they look done. But like Calgary, they've got it. It's now or never. So they could put together a big streak. I don't see it in them. I think their goaltending's terrible. They play bad defense, and their special teams are terrible. So don't see it happening. But I would caution on this game tonight. It's going to be a high-scoring pond hockey game. Give me the over. Caution anybody that wants to take Washington at that 170 because not too sure about that.
And if you do want to isolate the team total, you can get the over 3.5 team total for the Capitals. My book has plus 108 currently open, so it gives you a much better price. And Buster, I can't speak for Carm, but I promise you that we don't purposely pick days to go with you or against you. It happens with everybody, and some weeks we're on the same page, and some weeks we are not. I'm going to start with you, Carm, because I want to know what you have up at WagerTalk for these big games going on this afternoon. I know it's a hockey show. I'm wearing my jersey, my one and only soccer jersey that I own. What do you have up at WagerTalk.com for today?
Yep. 3 plays up for tonight in NHL action. So see if we can build. It's been a really good April in NHL. We're sort of steamrolling towards the playoffs, boys. So you can still get that NHL 200. Use that coupon code, $200 off the rest of the NHL season and Stanley Cup playoffs. I have a 5% play up in Champions League today, so we're going to see if we can go back-to-back with some winners. My show best bet is going to be plain and simple. I mentioned it earlier. I'm going to take the Rangers team total over 3.5, minus 110 against this Devils team who have allowed 4 or more goals in 7 of the last 10 games and 4 straight at home. Blackwood in his 2 games at home against the Rangers allowed 5 and 4 goals in those games. So I'm gonna take that. See if he allows them again. Rangers need the win and the points. So over 3.5 goals. Rangers team total. That's my play.
Rangers team total there. And guys, check out Carmine's 5% play. Looking to go back to back with those 5% plays. And my best bet on the show today is going to be the Florida Panthers. On the money line, I think it's a pretty generous price that we were getting with them. They've dropped 3 straight games. And I know that what we've said on this show is to ride the hot hand, ride teams on a streak. And we've mentioned that. But right now, I'm looking at this team to expose the Dallas Stars, their foot speed. I think the Florida Panthers will bounce back, and they need to find that level of consistency again during this late stretch into the playoffs. So far, I have 2 MLB plays up, guys. Still finalizing this hockey card. I'll have at least 1 play up for guys to grab over at WagerTalk.com. And it is $2 Tuesday. You can grab Teddy Covers over at WagerTalk and JM Sports at SportsMemo.com. And that's where you can find Buster. So, Buster, what do you have up today?
Well, I'm in the same game with you, Andrew. I talked earlier in the show about Florida coming out for the first period. So you might want to play a couple percentage Florida first period money line, which is around the pick. But I'm going to use, because I always have been putting out these first period puck lines. So we're going to go with Florida in the first period, -0.5 on the puck line, and we're getting plus 190 for this. As I said, Quenneville was pissed about what happened the last game against these guys. Dallas came on right away. Now Florida, like I said, same situation with Tampa. Florida's set and wait. Well, Dallas had to play another game. They actually had to go on the road and then lose in Nashville on Sunday. So Florida's good and ready to come out flying. And it wouldn't surprise me, an old school guy like Quenneville was probably pounding the doors. You guys still going to play like that first period? You're going to still play like crap that first period? You know, he's probably got right into their head. So look for them to come out flying. The only way that might not get there is that Hudobin, Florida's going to outshoot them 16-7, 16-18-6. They're going to come out flying. It's whether they can score, because they've had trouble scoring. They've only scored 3 goals in the last 3 games. So, but for me, we're going to go with that. Florida -0.5 on the puck line plus 190. Let's hope we get one today, guys.
It's a great price there, plus 190. I have the Panthers on the money line, Carmine with the Rangers team total, and Buster with that great first period price on the Panthers -0.5. Guys, thank you very much for watching. For Carm, for Buster, thank you guys so much. Have a great day and best of luck.
Sign up for the free WagerTalk text club to gain access to free plays and exclusive discounts. Just text WagerTalk to 33222 to sign up and get a $10 coupon to use on WagerTalk.com.